Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi reaffirms Egypt's to stabilize the ceasefire agreement and secure the release of detainees in Gaza. Egypt expresses concern over recent clashes in Syria, resulting in casualties and injuries. The delegation arrives in Cairo to discuss of the ceasefire agreement in Gaza. Hello there, good morning. You're watching Qnews, bringing you the latest updates from Egypt. The Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi has reaffirmed Egypt's efforts to stabilize the ceasefire agreement and secure the release of detainees in Gaza. Speaking during an inspection visit to the Egyptian Military Academy, President el-Sisi emphasized the ongoing diplomatic push to uphold the truce and facilitate further negotiations. It was attended by Lieutenant General Ashraf Zahir, Director of the Military Academy, alongside senior military officials. Egypt has expressed concern over the recent clashes in Syria's Latakia, which resulted in casualties and injuries. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs institutions and stability in the face of security challenges. It emphasized the need to combat all forms of violence and prioritize Syrian national interests, urging a comprehensive political transition in all Syrian segments to ensure the rights of all. A Hamas delegation has arrived in Cairo to discuss the implementation of the Gaza ceasefire agreement and move forward with the second phase of negotiations with the State Information Service. Egypt is intensifying its diplomatic efforts with all parties to accelerate progress on the next phase of the truce. Meetings with Hamas leadership, along with talks with the US and Qatari officials, are aimed at finalizing the terms of the ceasefire agreement and transitioning to its next stage. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation, the OIC, has officially endorsed Egypt's plan to rebuild Gaza, which was proposed during the Cairo summit on March 4th. The organization firmly rejected any plans aimed at displacing Palestinians. During a ministerial meeting in Jeddah, the OIC called on the international community to provide urgent support for the reconstruction effort. It also emphasized the need to launch a clear political process to achieve a lasting and just resolution that ensures the Palestinian people's legitimate right to establish their own state. China has officially announced the Egyptian-led peace and reconstruction plan for Gaza, which has been jointly proposed by several Arab nations. Minister Wang Yi reaffirmed Beijing's commitment to Gaza's sovereignty, emphasizing that the territory belongs to the Palestinian people and is an inseparable part of Palestine. Speaking at a press conference during China's annual legislative session, Wang warned that forcibly altering Gaza's status would only lead to further instability. Egypt is training Palestinian police forces as part of preparations for their eventual deployment in Gaza. Foreign Minister Badr al-Abati has plans for an international reconstruction conference organized in coordination with the Palestinian government and the UN, aimed at mobilizing global support for the Arab reconstruction plan. Meanwhile, the extraordinary session of the OIC Foreign Ministers Council has called on the international community and institutions to provide immediate assistance. The session also endorsed the outcomes of the Arab Summit, including the Gaza reconstruction plan. Meanwhile, the Palestinian Prime Minister, Mohammed Mustafa, has reaffirmed his government's commitment to ensuring the success of Gaza's reconstruction plan, while expressing appreciation for Egyptian, Qatari and US mediation efforts in securing a ceasefire agreement. Speaking at the emergency meeting of the OIC, Mustafa called for an immediate end to Israeli attacks and the return of displaced Palestinians to their homes. Meanwhile, Egypt, Qatar and the United States announced that Israel and Hamas have agreed to a ceasefire deal that includes a prisoner exchange. It involves an Israeli military withdrawal from densely populated areas, the release of detainees, the exchange of remains, and the return of displaced Palestinians to their homes in Gaza. Egypt has made significant strides in gender equality and women's empowerment. That's according to a new report from the Cabinet's Media Center, released in conjunction with International Women's Day. The report highlights Egypt's progress in global gender equality rankings, moving up 38 places in the UNDP Gender Inequality Index, ranking 93rd in 2022 compared to 131st in 2014. Egypt has also advanced 44 places in the World Economic Forum's Empowerment Index, ranking 90th in 2024, from 134th in 2014. Also, Egypt achieved a perfect score of 100, third consecutive year in the World Bank's Women Entrepreneurship Law Effectiveness Index, improving from 75 points in 2014. The Haya Karima Foundation continues its nationwide support efforts through a series of initiatives aiming at improving citizens' quality of life in key areas, including healthcare, economy, education, and social services. In the health sector, the foundation provided medical aid to 2,411 citizens through mobile medical convoys deployed in the Bahira, Dakalia, Munufia, Asyut, and Garbea governorates in collaboration with the Ministry of Health. The convoys offered 32 specialized medical services, including referrals for further examination, medical tests, and financial assistance for surgeries. These initiatives align with the mission to provide comprehensive social and healthcare support to Egypt's most vulnerable populations. Egypt's Ministry of Industry is intensifying efforts to enhance the industrial investment environment by launching incentive packages and integrated industrial complexes to support investors and manufacturers. These initiatives aim to increase local industry's global competitiveness as part of the country's Vision 2030 strategy. According to the General Authority for Industrial Development, the initiatives include financing facilities, tax exemptions, and fully equipped industrial zones with top-tier infrastructure. These measures are designed to encourage local manufacturing, support small and medium-sized enterprises, and expand Egyptian exports to new international markets. Currently, Egypt has 17 industrial complexes, primarily focused on creating opportunities for and small-scale investors. These complexes aim to relocate small workshops and medium-sized factories from residential areas while fostering industrial integration between and small businesses across various sectors. Well, that's it for now, but let's just recap on the main headlines in Egypt today. The Egyptian president reaffirms Egypt's efforts to stabilize the ceasefire agreement and secure the release of detainees in Gaza. Egypt expresses concern over recent clashes in Syria's Latakia, resulting in casualties and injuries. And a Hamas delegation arrives in Cairo to discuss the implementation of the Gaza ceasefire agreement. Well, that's all for now, but remember to stay here with Qnews. Mona is on the way with a discussion program in just a few minutes. Thank you.